In this video, we are talking about how to create a buying experience for more coaching clients. Friends, I'm Angela Nauman and I am the story selling coach. Do you think it would be easier to motivate kids in a classroom to learn or adults that are already looking for a solution to buy from you? Which would be easier for you? Let me tell you which one was easier for me. 20 plus years ago, during my first year teaching, let me just say it was not going well. Oh, I knew the content. Like I could teach main idea or subjects and predicates and all that good stuff. But the kids were playing with pencils in their desk or staring out the window, falling asleep. This was the classroom equivalent of being invisible on social media. Working a ton of hours, yes, putting on all the hard work, and the client's not showing up. That's what was happening in my classroom. Two things combined around the same time that changed everything for me. The first thing is I went to my mentor teacher and I was like, hey, the kids aren't engaged, something's off, I can tell. And we talked long and hard about this. And here's what she told me, friends. You're gonna love this. She said, tell more stories. If you tell more stories, the kids will give you their hearts. And if they give you their hearts, then they will give you their minds. That simple. So I went and started adding in some stories into my lessons. The second thing was my principal sent me to a week-long training that all the other teachers had gone to the year before. This was a program that was all about building amazing relationships with the kids and creating a collaborative learning environment. They taught things like greet your students at the door, host like this little time each day. You know how kids like to come up and tell you stories? She said, well, give them a time to raise their hand and go, what's going well? We went to the movies this weekend or whatever it was. Give them that 2 minutes a day where people can share. And so I started doing those things, but along with having them share, I began sharing things like, hey, this weekend, my husband and we went to the movies or something like that. And what happened is the kids started listening. The kids started learning. They started, instead of throwing paper balls across the room, they were actually participating in the lesson. They began just being a part of what was going on in the classroom. So it was the stories and the community that I built for them. They began taking that learning journey with me. So when I came online, the first thing I tried was the hardworking promote yourself way, right? I ran ads, I did blogging, I did all these things. The audience was basically staring out the window and nada was happening, right? Then I heard a speaker talk about using stories to sell. And everything, like the light bulbs went off, right? I was teaching writing by day, so I knew how to tell stories because I taught it. And the second thing was it reminded me of everything I learned that first year of teaching. One thing I learned in the classroom is that I had different stories for different lessons, and I had different stories for different times of the year depending on what the kids needed and where they were in their learning process. So I began the same thing with my stories and my content. I told strangers certain stories to build connections with them. And I shared different stories with my friends, with people I already had a connection with online, and yet still told different stories in let's say in a sales call or on a webinar. Just like the classroom, it all depended on the intention or what I was trying to create for my audience. This is the answer for me, friends. And so to create this experience for my clients based off the stories I told. Friend, it is up to you. It is up to you to create the connection and the buying experience that your client needs and wants to go through. We do this through our storytelling, through our content, our videos, our emails, our conversations. Stories are what connect us, and they are what sells your coaching. They are what makes your ideal client long to work with you. So if you are a coach who wants to learn how to captivate your audience, to build real connections with them through your stories, or even just how to tell your stories or to find your stories, I can help you, my friend. Stories are what connect us. Stories are what sell your coaching. So if you're not telling them, that's why you don't have enough clients. So if you're a coach who wants to learn more about how to captivate your audience, how to build real connections with them through your stories, or even just how to tell your stories, or maybe you're thinking, Angela, where do I find a story? I can help you. I can help you. That is what I do. So friend, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Follow 4 tips. Turn on your notifications for learning how you can use stories in your content to bring in more clients. Then there's a link in the description below to my 7 biggest content mistakes that keep coaches invisible online. Grab that, get yours, and let's get you noticed by your future clients. All right, my friends, until next time, may your stories bring you clients.